These fine gentlemen here, would you mind introducing yourselves?
Yeah,
on record?
Mike Regal. I'm a peace officer in the city of Calgary.
Okay.
Licensee.
Thank you.
And my name is David Kluge. I'm a peace officer in the city of Calgary, Livery Transport Services.
Awesome. Okay, so these fine gentlemen here are going to give me a fine. I will fight, and the JCCF will fight on my behalf. So yeah, this is the way it's going down, guys. But keep following the story, and I'll keep you guys updated. So again, this is how they crush small businesses. This is, guys, by the way, this right here is the intimidation tactic that the government uses. This is why people are afraid to open their businesses, even though the data doesn't support any of this. This is what people are afraid of, this situation, right? Getting a fine. That's all it is, guys.
Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Hey there, Keean Bexte for Rebel News, standing outside of a bakery in Calgary, Alberta. The bakery's name is Wisk, a low-carb, high energy, it says, and high energy indeed. They actually got ticketed just a few days ago for wearing a mask while they were alone in the bakery. Not only were they alone, they had a medical exemption from wearing a mask. This man, Jordan, who runs the bakery, is actually a veteran of the armed forces here in Canada. He's a hero to this country, and the police came in to ticket him right after the CBC left, interviewing him over the fact that he will not discriminate on you, the customer, whether you wear a mask or not. The CBC thought that was an interesting story, and then just coincidentally, bylaw came right after them in time for CBC to film them, actually, according to Jordan here in this business.
Breaking the rules, I'm following the bylaw. So I will record the entire thing because CBC is obviously funded by the government and they are all part of the propaganda machine. So to protect myself, I will conduct the interview in person and behind the magic glass. These fine gentlemen here, would you mind introducing yourselves?
Yeah,
on record?
Mike Regal. I'm a peace officer in the city of Calgary.
Okay.
Licensee.
Thank you.
And my name is David Kluge. I'm a peace officer in the city of Calgary, Livery Transport Services.
Awesome. Okay, so these fine gentlemen here are going to give me a fine. I will fight, and the JCCF will fight on my behalf. So yeah, this is the way it's going down, guys. But keep following the story, and I'll keep you guys updated. So again, this is how they crush small businesses. This is, guys, by the way, this right here is the intimidation tactic that the government uses. This is why people are afraid to open their businesses, even though the data doesn't support any of this. This is what people are afraid of, this situation, right? Getting a fine. That's all it is, guys.
I'm going to go in there and speak to him about why he thinks he was ticketed, what this means for his business, and why the CBC appears to have been involved.
I was here doing my thing, baking on my own. There was nobody here, and CBC actually. So CBC called me. They wanted to do an interview because I have a sign outside that basically says that I won't discriminate if you don't wear a mask, which is fair. And I have the one that says mask required by the bylaw is also there. So anyway, she came by, did an interview, and immediately after she left and took a shot from the outside, bylaw happened to show up right in time for her to record it, and they issued me a $100 fine for not wearing a mask. You know, for breaking law. What does it say here? Fail to wear face covering where required. And I told them on camera that I have a medical exemption from my physician, which I do, and I also have my magic plexiglass, which is all that was required by my AHS inspector who came here for me not to wear a mask. And so yeah, I just, I wasn't confrontational, but I caught it all on camera. I had a little fun with it, of course.
Do you think the CBC sicked the bylaw on you? Do you think they were somehow in cahoots?
It would be a pretty good propaganda stunt, I think. You know what I mean? Like, well, here's a business being fined for not wearing a mask, and then, you know what I mean? Like, we'll see when it comes out, just in time, right? So maybe not, but I wouldn't put it past them. So,
okay.
No.
So you are also a veteran.
Correct. I was a medical technician in the military. Relatively short career, 3 years, but it was very humbling and transformational for me. I learned a lot of things and experienced a lot of things. And I was very proud to serve my country. Yeah. My experience in the military as a medic, medical information is a very private thing, and we have to respect that. It's actually a pretty serious offense if you go into someone's medical records on the system there without permission. You probably get court-martialed, honestly. Don't quote me on that, I don't know, but you get in a lot of trouble. And it's just important. You got to respect people's privacy. Someone may come here because they have breathing problems, or they come in here with a mask and take it off. I had a lady yesterday who came in and literally was like, I wear this 12 hours a day, and she pulled it down because she needs to breathe. Who am I to say, put that back on? I don't care if you can't breathe. You know what I mean? And so I have to respect that. You know what I mean? And they have to respect my right as well. And all that. So.
What would you tell Jason Kenney?
Well, especially with the shutdowns, right? I mean, they know that there's no data to prove that restaurants and gyms and hair salons were the reason for the outbreaks, right? The numbers don't get traced back to that. So you got to let us open. We have the right to earn a living. You know what I mean? And I know his hands are tied. You know, I'm not expert on politics, but I know that he's like many others. They're puppets, and they have to do as they're told. So I don't know that he can really do anything. But to the ones making the rules, hey, prove it in court. I think there's a civil lawsuit, a class action lawsuit, going on, and I don't think they'll have the data to prove anything, right, to justify these measures.
Now, Rebel News, we're actually running a campaign called Fight the Fines. You can go to fightthefines.ca to see all about that. And if you've been given a fine, just like Jordan, we will help you fight it. Now, Jordan actually doesn't need our help. Surprisingly, the bylaw officer actually miswrote the ticket and put the wrong address on the ticket. So he's confident he'll actually be able to get it scrapped in court with no help from our lawyers. But that's not the case for everyone. If you have been given a ticket, go to fightthefines.ca and we will help you fight it. We will share your story and we will fight back against government oppression, whether it comes from the government itself or from the state broadcaster, the CBC. For Rebel News here in Calgary, Alberta, outside of Wisk Bakery, I'm Keean Bexte. Thanks so much for tuning into our coverage here at Rebel News. Like I said, go to fightthefines.ca. There you can see all the work we're doing to fight fines on your behalf so that we can fight against government oppression wherever it hits.